Greetings everyone, it's Sunshine. Today we're going to do an Herbal 101 on rose petals. It was requested of me, so So for those of you who don't know what rose petals look like, fresh rose petals, here you go. So today I figured we would do an Herbal 101 on rose petals. And aside from the obvious, of course, rose petals are the primary herb for love. It's love. It's universal. Roses are for love. So of course they carry that energy for love. But today, I figured we would do rose petals. So let's get down here to the table where y'all can see. Let's see here. Okay, hopefully you can see this. Let me try to adjust things. Okay, so today we're going to do rose buds. And this is what they look like. Aren't they gorgeous? And believe me, they smell very awesome. Now, this is not to be confused with rose hips. These are not rose hips. These are rose buds, not just rose petals. These are rose buds. But of course, breaking these up turns them into rose petals. So anyway, so let's put some out here where you can get a look at them. And it's very simple to get your own dried rosebud. You do not have to go out and buy them. It's very simple, especially you women out there who have loving husbands like me. Once you get those roses for Valentine's Day, which is coming up, and they start to wither a little bit, what you want to do is you want to tie them at the base, at the stem, and hang them upside down in any room. And after a few days, you end up with something that looks like this, still hanging on the stem. So, if we want to go over a few of the properties of rosebud, of course, this is considered to be the goddess's herb. This is the goddess's herb. It represents love, femininity. It comes in essential oil as well. I prefer to use dried herb, though, because sometimes essential oil is, for the majority of what I use it for, it's a little bit too strong. Although I have essential oil, rose essential oil, I prefer to use that in things more like my bath salts, things like that. Anyway. But, of course, roses are used for aromatherapy. In incenses, which it is awesome in incenses, especially a loose incense, it's good for healing, health, love, luck, balance, of course. It's a good protection additive. It is not a good protection herb by itself, but it does support other protection herbs. So it can be used in protection spells. It can also be a supportive herb in divining. So that's about it when it comes to rose petals or rose buds. Like I said, it's good for love, peace, definitely for sexual appetite. It's also used for beauty spells. And of course, medicinal beauty things. It's awesome in any kind of tea. If you can put this in a tea bag or a steeper, it has a beautiful aroma. And actually, I love the taste of roses, so it makes a great tea. But today, what I thought we would do is do a little bit of spell work. So I figured that I would share with you one of my minor spells, and that spell is, and bear with me because I do have to get it into my good old Book of Shadows here because I want to follow it precisely. So let's see. Okay, so for a binding love spell, what that is primarily used for is, and I'm going to put these rosebuds back in the container, excuse me. What a binding love spell is, this is not a come to me spell, this is not looking for love. This is primarily if you are already in love or already in a relationship. This is to help seed it, help it stay together, help it help you to help your relationship be stronger. So some of the things that you're going to need for this spell, and there are several things, so you may want to get a pen and a piece of paper. You are going to need a red chime candle. You're going to need, of course, a sachet. Now, I'm not doing an actual spell. I would recommend a red sachet, but I'm not actually doing the spell. I'm doing this for demonstration purposes. So you'll need a sachet. You'll need some red ribbon. You'll need some parchment paper. And you'll need a little bit of hair clipping from each of you. And I can thank my poodles for this donation here since I wasn't doing an actual spell. This is Gabby's hair and this is Remy's hair. So for demonstration purposes, we're going to use Remy and Gabby, okay? So, and then you're going to need some spices and some herbs that will also go along with this. Of course, you're going to need your rosebud. You're going to need basil. A whole basil leaf would be better, but unfortunately I don't have any whole. I'm out of whole basil leaf. You're going to need dried chili peppers, or a dried chili pepper. You're going to need ginger root, and if you would like, I can give you the reason for these. Of course, the red rosebud is going to be for long-lasting love. The ginger root itself is a controlling, to control the love, to control the atmosphere, to control the romance. So it's a controlling herb. You're going to need, let's see, for the chilies, you're going to need, this is for fire in the romance and to keep things hot in the romance. Of course, any hot romance always stays together. You're going to need some vervain. Now, I have blue vervain here, but vervain is for peace and to keep away bloodsuckers, which means keeping outsiders who could harm the relationship away. So you'll need vervain or blue vervain, either one. You're going to need cinnamon. Of course, everybody knows that cinnamon helps with love. I have here some cinnamon chips, so that's what that is for. You're going to need some belladonna or black nightshade. This is for defense in your relationship, of course, again, to keep out evildoers, evil spirits, and evil thoughts. I do want to warn you, though, belladonna or nightshade is very poisonous, so this is not to be taken internally. This is for spell work and casting only. You're also going to need damiana. Damiana is a lust herb, again, keeping the romance and the want for each other in the relationship. And let's see here. Yeah. And I just got this in, so I haven't been able to transfer it into my own container yet. So anyway, okay, so those are the herbs that you're going to need. Now, to do this spell, what you're going to need to do is, first we're going to anoint the candle. And in order to have the candle ready, what you need to do is you're going to, in the candle, writing from the bottom up, you're going to put your name, and then on the other side of the candle, you're going to inscribe your lover's name. And then we're going to anoint the candle, And when anointing the candle, because this is something that you want to keep coming to you, you don't want to push it away, you want it to keep coming to you, what you're going to do is, I'll give you an example. When you anoint a candle to come to you, you're going to anoint it downward all the way around. You're going to wipe it downward. And I start from the top and I move all the way down with the anointing oil. Like so. All the way down. And while you're doing this, you are stating your intentions. You want to keep your love alive. You want to keep your love together. And this is for the two of you. And you're definitely putting your thoughts into the candle. Put your energies into the candle. Now that you have the candle ready, I'm going to set it aside. You have to bear with me. I have a small space to work in here to show you what it is that I'm doing. So, let's see. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take, and this works much better if you have red ink. Red ink works much better, but you're going to take the paper that you have. Let's see. You're going to take the paper that you have and you're going to write on the paper. We're going to write Remy. And at the bottom of the paper, we're going to write, who is this for? This is for Gabby. Okay? And you see what I've done there? You notice I've written one name at the top and one name at the bottom, and there's a reason for this, okay? And I've done it in red ink. Let's set that aside. So what you're going to do now is you have the anointed candle. You're going to fold the names to where they come together. Do you see this? On the inside, I have folded the names to where they come together. Okay? That's the reason for putting one name at the top and one name at the bottom. Okay, so now you have your paper. You have one name at the top, one name at the bottom. This is also where you're going to add a clipping of hair from your lover and a clipping of hair from yourself. You see what I've done there? Okay, now I'm going to fold that together and then fold it one more time. And this is going to get placed under the anointed candle. Okay? Now, the reason that I use a chime candle is because this is not a long, lengthy spell that I am doing here. I want it to burn down, and then I want to be able to, once it's burned all the way down, do not blow it out. Do not blow it out. If you do not have time for this candle to burn all the way down, do not do this spell. But I want the candle to burn all the way down. While this candle is burning, when I first light it, you want to verbalize your intentions. You want to tell the candle what you're doing. You want to give the energy into the air of what you're doing. Then you allow the candle to burn all the way down. Once the candle has burned all the way down and gone out on its own, and mind you, if you have it in a small enough chime candle holder, there will be a small amount left over. Excuse me, let me set that aside. There will be a small amount left inside your chime candle holder. What you're going to do is you're going to dig that out. Okay, so now what we have is we have a burned down candle, and we have our parchment here. That burned down candle and this parchment, the way it is, you're going to take it, I apologize. Remy saw the mailman. You're going to wrap. Hold on. Remy, stop. You're going to wrap the candle, the piece that is left, and the parchment with red ribbon. Now, there's an incantation that goes with this, and I highly recommend that all of you come up with your own incantations. But I will tell you that the incantation that goes with this should be said while wrapping this 3 times. Like so. And then you're simply going to put a little tie in it. I apologize. I'm fumble fingered today. There we go. Well, I might get it. There we go. Okay. So, you've wrapped it 3 times while speaking your incantation, and tie it like so. Now, your candle piece should also be in here, okay? Just like that, okay? So you have your candle piece in there along with your parchment that has the names that have been joined, along with the clippings of the hair of the 2 lovers that have been joined. This is going to go in the sachet, like so. Then what you're going to do is each one of these herbs, for the purposes that I have told you already, you're going to state while adding these to your sachet. For the sake of romance, for the sake of fire in our relationship, I bind us together. And you're going to put the chili in there, just like so. Now, mind you, I would have all of these out already. I wouldn't be digging off into each container separately. Then you're going to do, and you can actually do these in any order. This is the basil. To ward off evil spirits, I add basil for the sake of our love. And rosebud. For the sake of lasting love, I add this rosebud. Then you have the ginger root. To control our relationship under lasting love, I add this ginger root. And then you're going to do, oh, bear with me, your Damiana to add lust and warmth and forever attraction to each other. I add this Damiana. The nightshade, in defense of anyone trying to separate or come between Gabby and Remy, I add this nightshade to protect us. And then, and mind you, the cinnamon does not have to be cinnamon chips. It can be regular cinnamon, stick cinnamon, anything like that. For grounding love, I add this cinnamon. And finally, the blue vervain. For peace and tranquility and to keep away bloodsuckers in our relationship, I add this vervain. Now you have everything that you need in your sachet. You're going to seal it, and you're going to hold it in your hands. And you're going to speak your intentions at the sachet, like so. You're going to hold it in your hands for a few minutes. Then, your spell is basically done. This is something that you should carry with you at all times. Now, for an enforcer, what I did, and yes, I have used this on me and my husband, the first night to make this more enhanced, more for me and him, I did place this in our bed under our pillows. It was in between us, in between our pillows, and we slept on this for one night. I now carry one of these in my... So I apologize, apparently my camera has a mind of its own and it decided to shut off. But in closing, you now have your Binding Love sachet. So if you have any questions, be sure and post them down below. Again, this can be used, and I know I kept saying rose bud, but it can be used with rose petal as well. So like I said, if you have any questions, I'm being loved. Leave me a comment down below. I'll be more than happy to answer. If you haven't subscribed, be sure and subscribe. Other than that, I guess that is our 101 on rosebud petals, rosebuds, not rose hips. And mwah, from me and Ziggy, love you guys. See you soon. Bye-bye.